Hey viewers, welcome to our fourth video about anti-VM techniques. In this episode, we will continue exploring the Windows API and introduce a new detection method based on a network feature, the MAC address. Let's get into it. So, what is the MAC address? Also called a physical address, the MAC address is a unique 6-byte identifier assigned to a network interface controller. It is used by devices to identify and communicate with each other on a network. The MAC address consists of two parts. The first 3 bytes identify the manufacturer of the network interface controller. The last 3 bytes are a unique identifier for the specific network interface controller. When a network interface controller is created, the manufacturer assigns it a unique MAC address. Since this address is tied to the hardware, different computers will have different MAC addresses. But what happens with virtual machines? There are a few possibilities that we can think of. One might think the VM could just use the host's MAC address. But that wouldn't work. Both the host and the guest need unique addresses to communicate on the network. Having identical MAC addresses would cause a conflict. The more realistic solution, and the one actually used, is that VM managers generate a fake MAC address for each virtual machine. However, as we mentioned earlier, the first 3 bytes of a MAC address identify the manufacturer. So, how do VMs deal with this? No worries. VM managers have their own MAC address prefixes. For example, VirtualBox uses the prefix 080027. This means that the first VM could have 080027AABB01 as a MAC address. The second VM could have 080027AABB02, and the third VM could have 080027AABB03. Each has a unique MAC address, but the manufacturer part tells us they are all managed by VirtualBox. So, how can malware use this information to detect a virtual environment? Again, we are going to use a function from the Windows API. More precisely, we will be using the GetAdaptersInfo function. This function fills a structure called AdapterInfo, which contains the field name address. This is where the MAC address is stored. The malware can then check the MAC address against a list of known VM vendor prefixes, and if it finds a match, it knows it's running inside a VM. For example, if you recovered the MAC address 525400123456, the malware will check every entry in its list of known virtual manager MAC addresses to see if any corresponds. The first one doesn't correspond, so it goes to the next. The second doesn't correspond either, so we continue. On the third one, if a match is found, the malware might self-destruct, go dormant, or simply refuse to run. If no match is found, it continues its normal execution. This is the end of the video. Thank you for listening, and I hope you keep following us in this journey.